Hi, I'm Ken Wray. I'm the mayor here in the village of Sleepy Hollow. This is one in a series of presentations I'm doing about what's going on in Village Hall, what the trustees are doing, and what I'm doing, and a report on some of the major projects that we have before us. One thing I'd like to lead off with, because we're standing on the site of the former Mallory battery plant right here, is that there is active testing going on to test the properties right around here, and I want to urge everyone, as we have several times before, if you own property somewhere around this lot, please have it tested. Now is the time to do that. One of the areas that I'm pleased to talk about is our village budget. We adopted a new budget. We were able to come in at just under 2% for homeowners. This is the third budget in a row that we've managed to do that. As you'll recall, 3 years ago, we had a budget that was 0% increase, and last year we had one that was around 1.5%. So combined over this cycle of 3 budgets, we've had an under 4% increase. The village government, the board, takes it very, very seriously. We know this continues to be a bad economic time. It's very tough for folks, and we've been working very, very hard and continue to work very hard to make sure that we not only project lower spending rates, but that we actually follow through with that. Proud to say that we finished last year within our budget. We actually added to our fund balance on top of it, so we were very healthy, and we're on track to do the same thing again this year. One of the things that's really going to help us in keeping the line on spending is our new treasurer, Sarah DiGiacomo, who came to us from another river town. She's smart, she's very experienced, got over 10 years experience in village government, and she's been a huge help already. She's already identified ways that we can save money on our existing programs and on spending. So we're looking forward to her continuing to do that, and we're very pleased to have her on board. I'd like to talk about our parks. As anybody who's driving down Beekman Avenue can see, that in front of Morse School along the edge of Beekman, there's a lot of work going on to create a new playground area, a new passive sitting area, and to clean up the whole place. This is our downtown. This is the heart of Sleepy Hollow, and it's really important that it look great, and that's exactly what's going to happen there. We were fortunate in that we were able to raise a grant for $25,000 that is a straight pass-through. It's not village money, it's grant money that went to that park. We were able to do some in-kind services as well, and what we're all going to end up with in the end is, of course, a much better playground area for the kids that go to Morse. So that's our kids and the kids from Terrytown. But we're also going to have a 7-day-a-week new playground and new sitting area and a much more attractive downtown. So it's something that's a big positive, not just for the school and the kids that go there and their parents, but also for everybody who lives in the neighborhood right around there. It's a great addition. We also have a new park, well, really not a new park, but a renovation of a long existing park in the Weber Park neighborhood. Douglas Park, which is a hidden gem known to folks who live in Weber Park. It's at the end of New Broadway, perhaps not so known to other folks in the village, but it's a great, heavily wooded, very natural environment. And we are in the process of tearing out the old playground equipment, which frankly really needed to be replaced, and replacing it with something very new for us, and that is something called a natural playground. And it's the idea is that you take playground equipment and meld it into the environment that's there in the park itself. So it takes advantage of the natural elements as well as providing new playground equipment. And we're really looking forward to the completion of that. One of the other things we've been doing in the park, as close observers of our work will note, is changing the rules on the use of the park. In years past, we've had a lot of problems with very large groups sort of saturating a park, and none of the parks can really handle that. Kingsland in particular. As you know, it's a county park that we manage for the county. It's been the site of some very large events and some very large private events in the sense of people coming in there. It really can't handle that. On a very practical level, think of it this way. There's only one bathroom. You can only have so many people in there. You have to restrict the number of people there. So we've put in a number of new rules in terms of the permits and parking regulations and things like that. We made a number of those changes before the season started. The season is now over as I tape this, and we'll be reviewing this summer what happened, what worked well, what needs some more improvement, some tweaking, and we'll put that in place before next season. People coming up to me and to the trustees and say, hey, what are you guys doing about sharing services? How come we're not combining our DPW or other parts of village government with other people? What are you looking at? How come we have all this duplication of effort all over the place with our villages and the county and so on? It's something that we take very, very seriously. We are nearing the probably 3/4 mark on a study that we've been doing with Terrytown and the school district about seeing how we could possibly combine our parks and recreation departments between all three of us, or maybe just share some services and resources and manpower between all of those. This is a study that's been funded by New York State. We're at the point now where we can actually sit down and really talk seriously about what some of those options might be. Obviously, it's going to have to work for Sleepy Hollow. Terrytown and the school district will be looking at it the same way. We're not at the point where we can say, yeah, we are definitely going to do something together, but we're at the point where we can really say, all right, now we know what's possible. Let's see what we can do here. I take, and the board takes, all of these kinds of ideas very seriously. I feel that we have an absolute obligation to look at each one of these areas where we might be able to share some services. Just in the last couple of weeks, we'd heard about the county police department, for example, reaching out to different villages and saying, hey, we might be able to share some services. There might be some things that we could do for you together. I went in, met with the county police and saying, is this a possibility here or not? And the answer is, yeah, it is a possibility. And that's it. It's very preliminary. I can't say it's a good idea or it's a bad idea yet because we just don't know enough. There might be a way to combine some things that they do and we do, not cut any of our services and save us some money. And if that's something that we can do in this area or any other area, we must look into that. As a board, we must look into those kinds of things. So we're going to continue to look at that. We'll see where it goes with each one of these. If it seriously helps us, if it's a benefit that we can really see for the village, then we'll explore it further. And that's where we are with those things. So when you ask us those questions, yes, we are looking into those things and we will continue to do so. I'm standing in front of our new community center here right next to Barnhart Park. This is probably the first new village building in decades. So it's really exciting for us to be part of this. We continue to work closely with the Sleepy Hollow downtown revitalization folks, especially through Karen Wampa's efforts. We're looking forward to another great Halloween season. We're going to bring back the street fair, which was a huge success last year. It was just really fun. If you weren't part of it, you should come down again. We're becoming known through some of these activities, the Swim for Life, the Swim from Nyack across the Hudson River, which raises money for cancer research, which is a tremendous benefit. We've run other kinds of athletic events here. Same group that we're working with on the 10K race, the Rivertown Runners, a local runners organization, is working with us on the early stages of trying to sponsor a half marathon that we would be doing next March. So looking forward to that as well, and I'll report back to you if we're able to pull that one off, which hopefully we will. I want to thank you for listening, and I look forward to reporting back to you again in the near future.